Hello, BookTube. I was almost done with a batch of videos when I realized that I did not do mail. I don't want to fall behind on mail. I don't want to keep opening mail off camera. So I thought we'd do some mail here on a beautiful but very warm day here in Bettendorf, Iowa. In the other room, Frida is in her bow window looking down on the mighty Mississippi River. But it is hot. It is in the 90s. And it's going to be that way for a long weekend. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Just a solid block of really hot weather here on the Mississippi in Iowa. But then, relief. Then daytime highs in the 70s. So I guess put up with a nice long August hot weekend for some beautiful clear sky Iowa weather. I'll take it, definitely. So let's do this first package. It's from Amazon. That's a little on the suspicious side. Did one of you order something for me? Did one of you order something for me when you know you shouldn't? Let's take a look and see. Oh. No, it isn't. It isn't from one of you specifically. Instead, it's from the folks at Tales of the Unreal. Their little digest magazine. I really like this magazine. They've sent me a couple of issues now. I didn't know I was still on their mailing list. But look at this. Tales of the Unreal. So this is number 3. I believe I have numbers 1 and 2. And this has, let's see, stories and poetry by Zula Alitsba, Clark Ashton Smith, George Wayfritz, Elkanah Settle, Alex Bayman, L.A. Lambuschain, Arbogast. Okay. Well, there are a lot of names on here. The Clark Ashton Smith is the only one I know, but I imagine that's just a reprint from the common domain, right? So what have we got here? Oh no. Okay, so the back is an advertisement for a book that isn't out yet. Okay, so there's no description of this thing, but it's a collection of short stories, of surreal, creepy, supernatural short stories. The first 2 were quite well done, quite well chosen, nice balance as well. And now I have another one. Great, that's fantastic. I'll do that tonight. Then let's see here. Then we've got a couple of packages here in the little book room. I don't often film in the little book room. I am surrounded by my books, by my closest friends. Let's see here. Oh, right. Okay. All right. I got an invoice for this thing, but no actual descriptions of what it is. So we'll read the dust jacket. This is by Marcia Bjornerud, and it's Turning to Stone, Discovering the Subtle Wisdom of Rocks. We'll just read the dust jacket like we were at a bookstore together. Earth has been reinventing itself for more than 4 billion years, keeping a record of its experiments in the form of rocks. Yet most of us spend our lifetime on the planet with no idea of its extraordinary history, unable to interpret the language of rocks that surrounds us. And here the author, who's a geologist, believes that our lives can be enriched by understanding our heritage on this old and creative planet. Wouldn't have thought of the Earth as creative. That's kind of nice. Contrary to their reputations, rocks have eventful lives, and they intersect with our own in surprising ways. I imagine some of my viewers are old enough to remember the pet rock craze. I imagine some of you are. Did any of you have one? In this book, the author reveals how rocks are the hidden infrastructure that keeps the planet functioning, from sandstone aquifers purifying the water we drink to basalt formations slowly regulating global climate. Fantastic. Okay, well, I don't have a date for this thing, but I think it's a finished copy. I think it's coming right up. So I will gobble it right up. I will throw it on the pile tonight. Quite a few of the things that I have encountered lately, I have thrown on the pile that night. Who knows if it'll be true for this next one. This next one is another big white cardboard envelope. Let's see what we have here. To finish out this Iowa mail haul, what have we got here? Lots of... Oh, okay. All right. We have a finished copy of something we've already seen. Coming with just a Bible of paperwork. Good Lord. I don't need all this paperwork. Although the paperwork in itself is interesting and also a little bit optimistic, because a lot of the paperwork is the author's literary arrangements, the author's literary schedule. And you remember as well as I do how COVID-19, the pandemic, just ended that. Suddenly I wasn't getting this sheet anymore of where the author was going to show and on what day, because they weren't going anywhere. So that's nice to have that back. But this is the finished copy of Agony Hill by Sarah Stewart Taylor, which comes out in just a couple of days. It comes out on Tuesday, probably. So this has a starred review from Library Journal. That's a big deal. Has a positive review from Publishers Weekly. Let's see here. We'll just go through this. This is from the folks at Minotaur Books. They almost never let me down. I always mention on this channel that the days when you could be a publisher buyer are by and large long since over, but every once in a while a publisher will come along where you actually can, where you could, if they still offered the deal. Publishers all used to do it. They all used to say, well, if you are a Putnam fan, well, then we'll send you our offerings for every season and bill you for them. If you're sure that you want to take a chance on us. I'm sure the publishers don't do that anymore, but you could easily say that you are a Minotaur Books fan, and you wouldn't be wrong, because they almost never come out with bad books. So let's see here. Like, for instance, I'm that way with W.W. Norton. I could easily be a subscriber to W.W. Norton, just get everything. Sarah Stewart Taylor is known for her critically acclaimed literary police procedurals featuring Maggie D'Arcy in Ireland. Now she focuses on a new historical mystery series closer to where she resides. This book is set in rural Vermont in the volatile 1960s and captures a time gone by with deeply layered characters and introduces readers to Detective Frank Warren and his enigmatic neighbor, Alice Bellows. In the hot summer of 1965, Detective Frank Warren arrives at Bethany, Vermont, to take a position with the state's Bureau of Investigation. The tiny, picturesque town is the opposite from Frank's home in Boston. He hasn't been there a day before he's called out to Agony Hill after a barn fire left one dead. Hugh Weber was found in the ashes of his barn, with the door barred from the inside. The case seems to be suicide, but things aren't adding up to Frank. The people of Bethany, from Weber's wife to Frank's neighbor Alice, have secrets they'd like to keep, but Frank can't tell if the circumstances surrounding Weber's death is one of them. And I have the advanced copy of this, and I just haven't got to it yet. Now I have the finished copy, and it's coming out any day now. So this also goes on the pile. I will read this, if not tonight, then this weekend. So that's great. Work of fiction set in 1960s Vermont, and a hymn to the creativity of Earth by a geologist. Fantastic. Can't ask for better than that. Plus, where'd it go? This thing. Tales of the Unreal, number 3. Go and find them online. If you want to get a nice digest full of stuff, go and find them online and subscribe. But anyway, there you go. That is the mail on a boiling hot Iowa day. So I'm going to wrap this up, but I'll be back. Thank you, BookTube.